The Killing Joke is an animated adaptation based off of the classic, iconic Batman Killing Joke graphic novel written by Alan Moore. It brings back Kevin Conroy as the voice of Batman. It brings back Mark Hamill as the voice of the Joker. And this movie got a limited theater release, and I got to see this movie on Monday, so I wanted to talk about it.
I want to talk. Perhaps you'll kill me. Perhaps I'll kill you. You know that, don't you?
I'm going to be talking about this movie as if you have read the graphic novel, at least. And with the movie, there are going to be some minor spoilers too. So if you haven't read the graphic novel, if you don't want to know anything about the movie, read the graphic novel and come back here. Because I wanted to get a little bit more in depth with this thing. I know, the hat is Superman, but I am also a big Batman fan, and The Killing Joke is one of the most iconic Batman stories of all time. Did it live up to it? Yeah. Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy. To some people, these guys are like the quintessential versions of Batman and the Joker. Like, going all the way back to the animated series in the 90s, which is one of my favorite all-time animated series. Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill, they just killed it in their roles from all the way back then. They've been in a lot of other shit since then, and they kill it in this movie as well. They do such a great job of bringing these iconic characters to life. You can listen to Mark Hamill monologue as the Joker forever and ever and ever. He does a great job of just injecting that Joker personality into the dialogue. Kevin Conroy is back as the dark, brooding Dark Knight, and he does a great job too. Games or TV shows or movies, whatever, Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy, they just kill it every single time. For a big fan of the graphic novel, this movie had some really great comic imagery. Entire scenes in this movie are like word for word, just like the graphic novel. It is a very faithful adaptation. There is a lot of this movie that is incredibly faithful to the source material, and I think overall they do a good job of honoring Alan Moore's work. Warner Brothers, why'd you go there? I mean, seriously, why? You didn't have to do it. You didn't have to do it. It's frustrating. This movie is frustrating. I so wanted to love this movie. Again, I'm a huge fan of the graphic novel. I understand there are going to be things taken out, there are going to be things added. I'm okay with that as long as it doesn't compromise the quality of the story that you're trying to tell. In this movie, they compromise. They compromise quite a lot. First of all, this movie is supposed to be Batman the Killing Joke, right? Wrong. The first 35 to 45 minutes, it's really more about Batgirl. And what they did with Batgirl in this movie just frustrates the hell out of me, because Batgirl is such a strong, intelligent character. The first 35 to 40 minutes of this movie involves a romantic subplot between Batgirl and Batman. It's really about her feeling sexually frustrated, and she feels sexually repressed, and she really, really wants to be with Batman. And he's really the only reason why she's fighting crime, is because she wants to be with Batman. But, you know, Batman is emotionally distant. It gets so bad that there's a scene in this movie where Barbara fights this crazy sociopath who really wants her, and she loses. She gets her ass kicked because she doesn't have the Batman dick. But as soon as she and Batman fuck, the very next time she meets the sociopath, she kicks his ass. It's like, what the fuck was that? She's just frustrated, and she's just whiny, and she's just emotional. And she has a lot of scenes with her gay friend at work where her gay friend's like, so, how was the yoga class? And she's like, yoga's not doing so good. I'm just saying, like, it frustrated the hell out of me. It just dragged the pacing of the entire movie down because they spent so much time on this romantic subplot. Now, I'm not one of those people that goes, what? No, Batman and Batgirl, that's creepy. No, that shouldn't happen. What the fuck? I'm not one of those people. I don't actually give a shit if they're together or not. I don't mind that. Like, that's not my issue. My issue is that their romance in this movie, it feels forced, it feels tacky, it feels unnecessary. And it doesn't really add anything to the movie. It kind of diminishes Barbara as a character. Instead of her being strong and fearless and smart, she's just really whiny and emotional and in her feelings for 35 minutes. And we don't get a whole lot of Batgirl and Batman ass kicking. We just get a whole lot of scenes of them bickering or him telling her that something's too dangerous. I just don't really get the decision to do that. I get that they were trying to make the movie longer, but I just don't think this was the way that they should have gone about it. I don't think this was the right way to handle it. The first 35 minutes of this movie, I was just sitting there like, okay, are we going to get to the movie that I actually want to see? I want to see Batman the Killing Joke. When they focus on the stuff with Batman and Joker and how they're cracked images of each other and focusing on the psychology of these characters, it's really great stuff, and that stuff is really suspenseful. But when it's undercut by a whole bunch of romantic melodrama, it just had me waiting to see the actual movie I wanted to see. Again, it's not about Batman being with Batgirl. I don't have a problem with that. But it's just about the way they executed it in this movie. It just made me not care about Barbara even more. And the animation is kind of a throwback to the 90s TV show. Hamill and Kevin Conroy are great in the movie, as they always are as Batman and the Joker. My favorite aspect of the graphic novel was Batman being forced into a do-or-die situation with the Joker, where the Joker wants to prove that everyone is as bad as him and all it takes is one bad day, and Batman and Gordon being resolute enough in their way that they're willing not to go that far because they want to prove to the Joker that they're right. The stuff in the second half of the movie, that's the movie that I signed up to watch. That's what I wanted to see. It's just the other shit is just not that interesting. It's not compelling, and it kind of drags the movie down for me. As much as I wanted to like this movie, as much as I love the graphic novel, I gotta say, this movie had greatness in it, but it also has a lot of meh in it. And I'm just gonna have to say, it gets the Fortress of Solitude rating. It's average. Thanks, guys. That is my review of Batman the Killing Joke. Check out the graphic novel. The graphic novel is really what you should be investing in at this point. I'll have a review of Jason Bourne up on the show tomorrow. Look forward to that. Thank you, Kryptonians, as always. And if you like what you see, tell me how you feel and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace.